Hey guys, in today's video we're going to go over my recent pickups from Owens. So the first thing that I'm going to start with is this pair of women's leggings from Owens. I purchased these on Depop for a steal. Wasn't actually just really looking for these, but I saw them for a very low price, so I'm picking them up. This is what they look like. They are a size small in women's, so they fit me very tight, but they are this very stretchy fabric, so they fit me all right. They're pretty much just a normal gray pair of leggings, the only unique things being this ribbing detail on the knees, and then also that it's just like a nicer quality fabric. This is like the thickest leggings I've ever had. They feel really high quality, which is nice, especially because they are so tight. I'm not super worried about them ripping. Yeah, that's kind of the main things just with these. Not a ton to go over with them, just like a nice high quality pair of leggings. So another thing I'm only going to quickly go over is this headband from the Champion collab that happened this season. Pretty simple little piece, just a black headband in this what they call a sponge material, with a small little Champion logo right here. It is like a sort of an off-white color. It's not exactly just a white and black logo, and then like a large patch logo on the inside. I guess you could flip this inside out if you wanted to, but I just always keep it like this on the outside. I just needed a headband, and I wanted one that was like a decent quality. My hair is just growing out quite a bit, and I wanted to try out how a headband would look with that. And I just kind of like the Champion stuff, especially because it is kind of this workout kind of aesthetic that Rick likes to do a lot. So I thought it was like nice, and it was pretty affordable. I'll link one down below. I think they're down to like $30 on some sites, so a very cheap thing. I picked this up for around I think it was $40 on sale. Alright, now we're going to move into a definitely more like substantial piece. Is kind of more, I would say, the main pickups of this little video I've got, and that being this Rick Owens Champion collab bodysuit sweatshirt. It's like a crew neck. It's essentially a crew neck, but the main interesting detail is it has these it has a bodysuit bottom to it. So technically, the idea is like that you would snap this under your like your crotch area, but what you really do is you just leave it open. It's kind of a look that Rick's been playing with. The main start of it would be like his Fall Winter 19 Larry collection. He had snap bodysuits for the women's collection, and I think what also kind of inspired how he ended up actually like incorporating the look into the men's collection was how Michelle, his wife, was wearing it, where she would wear it snapped open, and it just has this really interesting detail over the crotch area. It kind of makes it feel like some sort of armor piece, like it's reminiscent of like the kind of looks that were in A Clockwork Orange, where these have these kind of like padded guards over the crotch area. It's a really cool sweatshirt. The main other details are this chest logo with the Champion logo within the Rick pentagram, which is like an elongated upside down pentagram, and then on the wrist is another little Champion logo, like a lot of Champion sweatshirt kind of material products, and then there's also these oval shaped elbow pads on both arms, and it is a terry fabric, not as great as I would say like the felpa that Rick uses, but still like a decent quality. These are starting to sell out places. I purchased this on LNCC it hit, I believe Mr. Porter had it for, or Matches had it for, like $180 at one point. The retail was $400 to $480 depending on the retailer that you purchased this at. I think like 200 or below is a good price for it. It's just like a good crew neck. I like it because it's cool for layering under jackets and stuff. It just adds like an interesting detail around the crotch area that like a t-shirt wouldn't do, and it's also just pretty comfortable. Okay, now we'll move on to this pickup, which is a Felpa jumbo jumbo tank. I think that's the name for it. It might have some slightly different name, but it is essentially a jumbo tee cut from Rick, which is like these big, giant fitting tees with cropped arms. So it's like a slight arm, and it has left with a raw hem. Other little details on this are like somewhat of a mock neck. It's a little bit higher, fits a little bit closer to your neck, and then this asymmetrical center seam on the back of the jacket, the top, that is pretty common amongst a lot of Rick Owens items. I purchased this for around $100 on Grailed. I would say around that to $200 is a good price to pay for these. It's just like a nice top to wear. You can wear it with like larger pants and stuff. It's a bit long, but it's kind of just like that Rick look that you kind of grow to expect if you wear a lot of his clothes. Alright guys, so the final item I'm going to show you today that I picked up is this Rick Owens Dillon Tee from the Spring Summer 2020 collection. This was featured on the runway in a lot of looks. It's kind of the main t-shirt from this season. It is, as you can see, essentially just a really deep v-neck with kind of a normal Rick kind of cut on the bottom where it's just elongated, and then it's got a center seam on the back that is asymmetrical. A thing that I'd like to mention about these center seams and why Rick uses them on a lot of items is they give a really interesting fit to the entire t-shirt. I think it's like you see it on the back and you don't exactly understand that this seam affects the entire construction of the piece, because since this seam goes this way, what happens is it ends up pulling the front of the shirt in this direction. So you get this really interesting fit where the shirt is somewhat curving away from you. I have some print tees that I'll probably show in a different video that have this same sort of seam on the back, and it's interesting because it makes it look like the print is actually printed off center, but it's actually printed correctly. It's just that the seam in the back is causing the shirt to turn. It's a really interesting effect. The other kind of thing on this is these kind of like, it's not exactly a tank, it's just got these kind of slight shoulders, almost pretty reminiscent of the Felpa top I just showed you, which have a kind of raw hem here, and then these nice like heavy duty shoulders, which is always a nice touch. This is in an unstable cotton material, and then this is actually from the women's collection. But the interesting thing about the women's and men's Dillon tees is they actually fit the same, and they fit the same as the men's size. So I bought this in a women's 42, which is technically a women's medium, but it fits exactly the same as the men's medium. So, which is interesting. So I guess for women, these tops, if they buy them true to their size fit, huge, but for me it kind of fits my body kind of the way that I want it. It is definitely an outlandish tee, but I think like everything that Rick does, I always kind of feel like, oh, that's not for me, and then he does something even crazier and more ridiculous, and then what he's done before seems more modest, and I end up adopting something that originally I thought was crazy, like these giant deep V-necks. I thought it was ridiculous, and then now I think it's pretty cool, honestly, and I want to get one in black. Hopefully I can get that soon. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment down below about what I can do to improve it or what you liked about it. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, and make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Peace.